Glowen is not just a pizza oven.
Well, you probably bought a Glowen for pizza, but it's really meant for a lot of other dishes, and we'll show you what. Today we're making traditional Balkan dish, meat Burek. First we make the Phyllo Dough, and of course we'll make a homemade Phyllo Dough because it's so easy and such a satisfying process. First we need the flour. We use strong flour with high level of protein, at least 12 plus, so we want dough to stretch nicely. We mix in the water and the flour, and then we add salt because we want to firstly develop little bit of gluten, and then we add the salt because salt is not good for gluten development. I'm kneading it, pulling the dough apart, and then bringing it back together, and then pulling it apart, and then bringing it back together. And you have to knead it really well, because for the pulled dough, you need to have strong gluten. When we get good homogeneous dough like this, we put it on the counter, and then we let it rest for a few minutes. And when the dough rests, then the gluten develops by itself, and when we start mixing it again, it will already be much more homogeneous.
In the meantime, we dance kolo.
The dough is already a bit more rested, and it will be much less sticky. When dough is smooth and firm, we put it in an oil container. We make the balls like this, and then completely cover them with oil, because they shouldn't dry out. If they have dry spots, you'll have trouble pulling the dough. And then cover and let it rest for an hour. The best is 3 hours. So make it ahead, or you can make it even the day ahead, and then just bake it the next day.
Close the container.
And put it to rest at room temperature, because if you put it in the fridge, the dough will firm up and you can't pull it. To make a good filling, I really recommend that you grind your own meat.
You can use lamb or you can use beef.
We are using free-range lamb because it's really tasty. Quality in, quality out. Now we mince the lamb meat, and now we season it with salt, and we put some black pepper. And these are all the spices you need for a good burek.
And finally chopped onion. The ratio is 2 parts meat, 1 part onion.
And we prepare quite a salty base because burek is a salty dish. It has to be salty. Not too salty, but it is a very salty dish.
The base is ready. Now we put it in the fridge.
The dough is now rested. It's smooth and sticky, and it's floating in oil. You have 3 different ways to make Phyllo dough or pulled dough, and this is the easiest one. You have one that is dry with flour on the tablecloth, but we are going to do a greasy one, greasy technique, where you grease up the whole platter, and this is the best for beginners because it's the safest way to put it like this, because then even if you screw up something, then it can be still good. We take the dough out as beautifully as we can so it holds its shape. It's really important for the shape. And then we smash the dough to the surface to create like a thin pancake. The thinner you get it right now, the easier it will be to pull then. Be careful to make the edges thin, then you will have less discard. When you put the dough like this, you can start straight pulling it, but I will also show you one technique how to begin to make it evenly coated, and I will throw the dough. You just need a little practice to do it. You lift the dough, and like putting a tablecloth on the table, you pull it. And while you do it, you turn it 90 degrees, and then you do it again. And each time you do it, the dough will be bigger. And if you have a good dough, it will not rip. That's it. The holes are starting to work. If you're a pro, you make it whole like this, but now we'll pull it together. If you do it in teams, it's much easier. And then just start carefully pulling the dough. Now when there's some dough in the middle, just lift the dough, go with hand on the bottom and pull it from the middle. To start assembling, we first flip the bottom part of the dough, and now we take away the thick part. We don't want this in our burek, it's like a chewing gum, and then it will be tough to bite.
We take our base and start filling the dough.
It's important to fill it just on the bottom part, because around we want the crispy edges, crispy layers just of dough, and just the filling in the middle, and not too much filling, yeah?
Not too much.
Okay, now we just roll it. First fold it over the meat, and then just roll it with the hand. And you can roll it intensely so it has nice bubbles inside. Like this. pull it, and then tear away also this thick part. When you make a sausage, you can even pull it gently, so it will be even thinner, and you are stretching the dough and the layers.
You have to butter the tepsia. It's very important.
Now I will turn the tepsia, Jure will put the burek in. You see all the air bubbles inside? It's thick, it's plump, and it will bake, it will be crunchy and fluffed. And then we make another one to fill the whole tepsia.
A few moments later.
We are ready to bake. We preheat the oven to 200 degrees and then we put fire on minimum.
We have to be careful. When we are baking in pizza oven, closer to the fire, there's always more heat than further away from the fire. That's why you have to turn burek regularly, every 5 minutes or so. And we put the burek in the end of the oven and far away from the flame, because there's the most constant temperature. We don't need high temperature like for the pizza. For the pizza we need 500 degrees. For the burek we need around 200. And that's why Jure is measuring the temperature, and when the temperature will go too high, we'll just close the oven a bit.
We prepare the mixture of butter and sparkling water, so we will preheat the cast iron. Cast iron is preheated, so we take it out, add a bit of butter and sparkling water.
I think burek is ready now.
Oh, it looks amazing.
Look at this.
Now the final touch.
Yeah, burek is now really crunchy and almost hard. Now we fill with the mixture of water and butter.
Final touches.
And now we put it back in the oven for 2 minutes for water to evaporate, and burek will be all loose and crunchy.
When the burek is back in, we turn off the oven. Very
Look
nice.
at this now.
Oh, yes.
All bubbly and crunchy.
Traditional Balkan drink with burek, it's yogurt.
Yogurt.
Cheers.
Yogurt.
Soft, tasty. Amazing. Thank you, Glowen.
I think this is one of the best bureks I ever made.
This is authentic Balkan pizza. You have to try this.